Let's get it. We're back for another episode of Unlock Your eBay Entrepreneurs, the eBay class to teach newbies, people interested in the eBay, and just anybody trying to make something out of nothing during a recession, just to have an extra source of income, on how to make your first $1,000 with eBay. And we got the two eBay experts who are individually a master at eBay, and they know their stuff in and out. I'm going to hand the mic to my partner, D. Mathis, and he's going to tell you why he is the eBay expert.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank y'all for tuning in. For the people on the replay, make sure that y'all keep locking in with us. If you never make it to the live, go back and watch the replays on YouTube. My name is D. Mathis, the owner of Shoe Solution 6. It's an eBay store. I established it back in 2013. It gives me 10 years in this business. I've been doing well in it. I also have 15,000 transactions that I've completed. I have 5,000 reviews, or AKA feedback scores. Right now, my record is 100%. Oh, that means I give great customer service on my platform that will keep this engine running. This is it, man. I'm glad you're tuning in so we can show you how to make your first $1,000 on eBay.
I'm David Allen with We Buy iPhones LLC. We buy and we sell thousands of electronics across the globe from all type of countries and all type of cities. For some of my inventory, it doesn't sell as fast as I would like it to, or a specific niche. I listed on the eBay platform, and eBay has been a mixture. It's been some good, some bad, and everything in between. But for what I make, I can say overall that I do like the eBay platform, and I just want to educate other entrepreneurs on how they can use eBay as an additional source of income and as an additional sales platform to sell inventory. We usually talk about different topics, and this week we're going to go over 4 to 6 topics related to the eBay niche that we wish we'd have known when we first started. We're going to start this week's presentation with eBay support, your partner for successful selling. I'm going to let D hit this one. Tell them about eBay support.
All right. So eBay support is something that you want to get familiar with. Generally, back in the day, it was a little bit easier to just call a 1-800 number and reach out to support. Now it's a little different over the years. There may be a situation where you didn't receive your payment. The purchase, someone purchased an item from you and you're not receiving your funding, or you confuse how to make sure that you're getting paid daily versus weekly or monthly because you didn't set the count up right. And you want to reach out to eBay support. But what you want to do is at the very top of your seller hub on your computer, is you'll see a name, it'll say hi, and then your name on the side. Then right to the right of it, it says help and support. And you click on that button, and it's going to give you a couple of options. Basically, it's going to guide you on how to answer your problem without getting someone on the phone, right? And if you need to get someone on the phone or have a chat, there's a button there the way you can start basically chatting with basically a robot or AI, and they'll assist you. If you feel like you're not getting the assistance you need, you basically go back and forth with the chat bot and let them know that this is not helpful, I need further assistance. And then you can request to have a phone call, right? And once it knows your phone number, it'll automatically pull up. You just press yes. When your phone number pop up, and then usually they'll call you within 1 to 3 minutes, you will be able to go back and forth with eBay so they can make sure that you get your issue resolved. It's something that don't happen often, but even for me, a person that's been doing it 10 years, I probably talk with eBay less than once a month. Once a month sounds about an average for me.
With the eBay support as your selling partner, you really want to take advantage of what it's offering you as a seller. It's giving you support, it's giving you structure. That way you may have questions, you may have disputes, you may have to deal with a return. Reaching out to eBay on how to go about handling the matter. From what previous eBay experts have told me, they've mentioned that the seller protection wasn't quite the best in the beginning, that it was more favored towards the buyers. However, over time, it has become more mutual in favor of both the seller and the buyer, that if you do good business on the eBay platform, that 9 times out of 10, you really won't have to deal with eBay support. And what eBay recommends is you communicating to your customers as much as possible. That way you can avoid having eBay come in, because there's eBay support for you, the seller, but there's also eBay support for you, for the customers, when there may be an issue at play. So eBay doesn't want to step in when it's a relation to the customer and it's something that could be easily solved. For example, you're an eBay seller, you receive a message from your buyer claiming that they never received the item. Happens to me a lot. I put my track in, I update it, and then sometimes through the carrier, the package wasn't scanned through the sort center. So now the buyers, well, where's my package? Where's my package? Where's my package? Where's my package? And come to find out, the next day it shows delivered, and then it shows that they received it, but it wasn't updated in the message. In those cases, you may have your one-offs where the buyer claims that they never received it, that the tracking wasn't submitted, and then they escalate it. And because you did everything that you needed to do as an eBay seller, eBay support will dispute or resolve the dispute because it shows delivered. Back to that, situations like that can be stressful, but with the help of eBay by your side, you can reach out to the customer support team for assistance and resolve any matter. Anything you want to add to this, D?
Just get familiar with Seller Hub on your computer, because it's different than using the app on your phone. I've definitely have been bad at doing that in the past, but the cell phone is so easily accessible when you're on the move using your phone. But just practice getting on the Seller Hub at least once a day, once a week, and get familiar with all the buttons that you can press and get more knowledgeable about eBay in general.
That's a great topic. That's what I'll talk about next one. I'm a big proponent in a dollar saved is a dollar earned. So $1 that you get to keep is another dollar that you could either put towards somebody else, somewhere else, or you could put towards your pocket. So that leads me to the next slide. eBay seller secret: maximizing your profit with free supplies. Let's say it's a handmade. You may have an item that is bulky. Instead of you going to the store having to buy shipping supplies, there are different carriers, like shipping carriers, that will provide you with free shipping supplies in exchange for you using their services. USPS is my go-to. They provide me with, say, 99% of all of my padded flat rate envelopes. Most of my shipments I ship via padded flat rate, medium priority, or small box. Sometimes I use first class depending on the item's weight, but anything over 1 pound, I usually put in a padded or anything priority, including the medium, the small, and my paddeds. The best thing about this is USPS will give you these packages for free. You don't have to pay a dime. All you got to do is just pay the shipping. From shipping boxes, labels, packaging materials, eBay offers a range of free supplies to help you package your items. So that way the customer gets it safe. You're able to ship your item, say goodbye to the upfront costs, and hello to professional packaging that delights your customers and get you started to elevate your eBay game. Anything you want to add to free supplies?
Yes, man. This is one of my favorite subjects. Everybody like the word free, and then at the end of the day, really ain't nothing free. I heard both scenarios. The main thing is making sure people know what you do for a living, right? Make sure that your friends and your family know that you're a reseller. So they're donating all of their old supplies. For example, I used to be big on buying the Sunday paper, right? I would go to the grocery store, get it for $2.25, $2.50, whatever the case may be. It'll let you know all the discounts and coupons and all the things in the sales paper itself, so you can save money on purchasing things in general. But the old newspaper made good padding when you're shipping things out. That's free shipping supplies. The second one is, just say, for example, your mom, your wife, whoever the case may be, they might like to buy packages from eBay, or they might buy from Amazon. You could recycle some of those same supplies. For example, if you buy something, it's probably going to have some kind of cushion on the inside. It's going to be some bubble wrap, air bubble packaging. What you want to do is collect that and put it to the side. So when you sell your item, you'll have those free supplies there. Same thing with the boxes. We're constantly buying things on websites in general on a weekly, monthly basis. You want to make sure you break down those boxes and stack them to the side, because if you're only relying on USPS.com to get free boxes, then you may put yourself in a situation where you're only shipping priority. Right now, from my understanding, they don't have any first class free packaging. That's anything that's less than a pound. Or if you have an item that's 8 ounces, 12 ounces, you want to make sure you're getting some free supplies that'll fit those packages as well. You can use an envelope that's already been used. And what you want to do is once you put your item in the package, you can fold it over or mark it out if it has some kind of wording on it, and then put maybe a poly mailer on top of it if you want to do that. But my
Okay.
point is making sure that you spread the word, because these free supplies are going to add up. My mom, my auntie, my cousins, they may collect things over the month. And then maybe at Christmas time, Thanksgiving, I pick it all up. And believe me, bubble wrap can get very expensive. For a small pack this big, could be $15, $20, and so forth. So every time you're able to get those free supplies, definitely take advantage of that. Another thing with free supplies is, of course, you can go to USPS.com, get the website, not get the website, but make sure that you start your account and just go over it slowly. And you'll notice there's going to be some things in there that's very helpful. For example, I ship a lot of shoes out. So sometimes the original shoe box gets crushed and I want to ship it out in a box that's very sturdy. So I use a USPS shoe box that's 14 by 12 by 6, and it's perfect for shoes. You may need a little filler, which is, like I said, newspaper or bubble wrap, just so the shoes are not shaking up on the inside. And just take advantage of the free supplies, because it's gonna affect your profit and loss or your bottom line. Very important.
I can go in detail on using free supplies creatively. Oh, I'm gonna give y'all one tip. The one tip is USPS priority padded envelopes. I'm gonna say that one more again. USPS priority padded envelopes. Why USPS priority padded envelopes? Because USPS does not mark the inside of the padded envelopes. So as D mentioned, for the first class, what I do is I take the USPS padded envelope that has the marking on the outside, turn it inside out. Now I have bubble wrap that I can now custom fit to my package, put some tape around it. For any item, let's say up under $60 that is less than a pound, give me one of them padded envelopes, turn it inside out, put some tape around it, and I'm good to go. That is the essence of having free supplies and being creative. And then sometimes what I do for packaging, just to make sure that my item gets to the buyer correctly, I take some of those boxes or some of those padded envelopes that I may have, and I use them as cushioning. So that way, that if I ship an iPad out, or if I ship an iPhone out, or if I ship anything, let's say maybe it's an Apple Pencil, I know that the buyer is getting it securely. It may have a bunch of USPS stuff in it, but I know they got it securely. Anything you want to add to that, dude?
Hey man, that was a great one. We could go on and on about little tricks and hacks, you know, that you use to cut corners.
Right.
And one of them was you get free supplies. Let me give you an example. Okay, this is a bag priority mailing envelope. I used
Okay.
to ship jeans in this one. This would cost me about $8.50, $10, depending on where on the East Coast. It would be even more if I shipped it to the West Coast. Then I came across these flat rate envelope, and then they also have another one that's bigger than this. This is going to save you $1, $2 every time versus this bag. They
Hmm.
both are free. Because it's in an envelope, you're going to save $1. And I was, at the time, I was shipping at least 5 to 10 pair of jeans a week. So in a month, that was an easy $200, $300, $500 just by switching envelope to bag. Just make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing. Slow down, look at your costs, and just get this money and learn how to make your first $1,000.
We got to give our other slides some time. I'm gonna talk about generosity paying off that the price of giving away items. But we're all in this to make money. However, sometimes, as D mentioned, you may get an item that sits. I recently had to do the same thing myself, where a mother reached out to me. She told me that she was getting an iPad she purchased from a store. She seen the reviews and she just wanted to know, can I help her out? And I was like, all right, I'll give you the iPad at a fair market price, but as a bonus, I have an iPad, brand new iPad outer box case is just sitting. I'm not doing anything with it. It's just sitting. Instead of me trying to penny pinch and get every dollar out, I was like, hey, here you go. I'm gonna include the iPad, brand new out of box case with the iPad. That way, your daughter's new iPad is well protected. And when you do things like that, it pays off because now you have a loyal customer by giving them a freebie. Or if you got an inexpensive or cheap item, maybe doing the double up. Recently, I had a bunch of iPhone, Android screens. It's been sitting for a while. I'm like, well, I need to clear up space. I feel like when I clear up space, then I'm able to make space for more inventory. Like, let me get rid of these screens. Instead of when a buyer purchased one, I doubled up. I gave them 2 screens for the price of one. And what that does is usually it generates positive buzz for your store and just gives you positive feedback from the customer. The customer's like, Shoe Solution 6. I want to come back to Shoe Solution 6. They give you more for your value. When you're going through times like a recession, being able to get more for your money is what will attract the customer. Anything you want to add to that, Dan?
Well, it's just always better to do your due diligence about giving, right? It's always going to pay off, whether that's in religious ways, or you going to church, or you giving in the community with your time, things that's in your store that's stale. Because after you have so many items in your store, after 30 days, 60 days, a year in eBay, it starts to hide your items, right? But that item is just sitting there, and now it's costing you money in store. It comes out better just donating it, especially if you didn't pay much for it. So just make it a practice, right? And it's something that's it's an over life thing, not an overnight thing, right? Where eventually you start to comprehend that I gotta add more value to this world. Because when we leave here, we want to make it a better place. Make sure that you're always giving value and donating items on like a monthly basis. Like just have a checklist. What, did I donate anything? Did I donate my time? Did I donate any food? Those things like that, and eventually it becomes a habit.
This strategy not only helps you clear out inventory, but it also increases the chance of receiving positive feedback. So a lot of times I get repeat customers who want to come back and buy. And I see up under my eBay that this is a repeat buyer, which can boost your reputation and then just the relationship that you have from that particular customer because you gave them a freebie. Or if, let's say in my case, I despise TVs. TVs take forever to sell. They take up so much space and they depreciate so fast. The minute that you get a crack is you better off just throwing it away. Well, recently I had purchased a bunch of TVs. Some of them were cracked. Instead of me just sitting on them, trying to, hey, maybe somebody maybe get my money back. Instead of me positioning myself as that, I went up to my local Goodwill. I gave the TVs away. And in exchange, they gave me a tax write-off. The tax write-off that I was able to get used to offset some of my taxes instead of the TVs just sitting and me trying to penny pinch to try to get my money back. It's essential to evaluate the factors for the items that you give. We're not saying give away your best items, give away your expensive items. What we're saying is the items that you no longer want, it's just taking up the space. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Even though you may not want it, go ahead and give it away or give it or bundle it with another item and it's in a similar category. That way, the person who just spent $25 is now getting a $35 value in exchange for the item that they just purchased. And then you get to get rid of something that you really didn't even want. Anything you want to add, dude?
Hey, I'm gonna just say this, right? I like to be real transparent. And the older I get, the more I understand that I had to share my story, right? I've been a single father before, right? I know what it feels like to go to a church and get free food out of a church, what they call a food pantry. I know what it feels like to go in there as a grown man and apply for food stamps, right? Back when they used to have a paper when you had to, it's like several pages, right? So I said all that to say this. If you have a child and the kid clothes has got too small, it's another child that needs those clothes, right? It's another child that need those used shoes, and you can pass it on maybe through the church or maybe through the school system, because it's everybody's not blessed. I always dig deep in your heart and just keep in mind that it's somewhere that it's plenty of people that want to be in your position, right? Somebody don't have a truck as nice as yours. There's somebody right now that's walking when they wish they had a bike, and the person who had a bike wish they had a car. So just keep that in mind as you start your journey of making your first $1,000 on eBay.
We're gonna get real deep. We'll talk about unleash your eBay success, selling profitable items, whether it's scouring the thrift store, yard sales, decluttering your home. Free items can be a hidden gem. But the same way you give items, get items. And I'm a big proponent of what you put out is what you receive. So you may come across at a thrift store item that somebody's just trying to give away to you. They don't want it. They don't know the importance of it. However, with a little elbow grease or with the correct title, with the correct description, it may not be worth something at the local thrift store because the customers have no clue what it's worth. However, this item that you just got is $100, $200 collectible. Imagine finding these valuable items at thrift stores, garage sales, or even at your local, or even in your home. By repurposing these free items that you have or that you were given, that you're gifted, you can list them on eBay and generate a profit. You got anything you want to add to this, D?
Yeah, I'm gonna start off slow with this one, right? Back in the day, Craigslist was the #1 place you would go to get free items. They had a section there on Craigslist. You would go buy and pick up beds, dressers, you name it, sinks, anything you need, it was on Craigslist. Now, OffersUp end up becoming the new Craigslist. Then after a few more years, Facebook Marketplace blew up. Now that's the go-to place to buy and sell your items out in your community. And it's also, you're gonna be able to source some free items, Facebook Marketplace. But I got you a hat that's at least worth $1,000. And a lot of people don't know this, right? I'm finna give it to you for free right here. Estate sales, right? Wow, I know I said it. What is estate sales? I heard of before. Isn't that like when people get rid of stuff when someone passed away? All right, let me break it down to you. Most estate sales usually last about 3 days. Sometimes they 2, sometimes they 5 days. All right, I'm gonna speed it up so I can make sure I get you this information, you understand it easily. The last day of the estate sale, they pretty much had to get everything out of their home. Now that they got to decide, hey, I got to break this down to 25% off, 50% off, 75% off. If not, they're going to pay a cleaning crew to come clean out everything in this house. Because more than likely, this house is going to go up for sale. So what you can do is, on the last day, come close to the end of the sale. And if you have a truck, a van, or some kind of big vehicle, they will give you a lot of the items for free and possibly help you load it. When I say I've walked away with hundreds of dollars of items for free, it happens all the time. Oh, you can go to statesales.net. That's one of the websites. Follow me on Major Hustles 7150 on YouTube if you want to get more information about estate sales, yard sales, garage sales, flipping storage units, things of that nature. That's a good game. Estate sales, get you some free stuff.
That's a great one. I'm gonna clip that one up. We're running out of time, guys. So I'm gonna we'll make it quick. Maximizing profits by selling items individually versus as a whole. If you have a set of matching dinnerware, selling it as a complete set may appeal to buyers looking to furnish their dining room. However, consider your inventory and consider the dining set, the target audience, and the potential demand. That the best strategy could possibly be selling individually, taking that dining set, separating it by the knives, spoons, the plates, and then the cups, and then selling those individually. I recently came into this tidbit. Somebody had mentioned a Nintendo Switch. Instead of selling the Nintendo Switch as one entire unit with the console, the charger, and then the controllers, selling them individually. So your $100 investment is now $220. Yes, you may have more to do. You got to factor in the shipping, got to factor in the selling of individual items versus just selling as one. But now you have more revenue coming in from the multiple sales of selling the charger, selling the console, selling the unit, and selling the controllers. Anything you want to add to this, D?
Hey, that was just a good idea to bring this in on the slide. I do this all the time. I call this having competition with myself, right? So what I've done is in my furniture section of my store, I mostly sell vintage outside furniture, sometimes inside furniture. I'm gonna make this point very quick so we can get out of here, which is I would buy a table and 4 chairs for outside seating. I would invest in the metal. All right. That'll put you in a position where now you don't have to keep buying furniture from Walmart every 2, 3 years because it don't hold up. What I realized is that I can break that setup and sell it separately. I have one set, table and 4 chairs, Then I have another listing for just a table. Then I have another listing for just 4 chairs. What I found out is a lot of my customers really want just the chairs. They don't care for the table. And they almost willing to spend just as much for the 4 chairs as they would for the table and 4 chairs. For the table, I end up selling separate, making almost as a, not to say a gift, but I would be able to make extra profit because I sold the table separately. And that's just one of my hacks I did for a while, which I said is having competition with myself, which is also when I have a buy it now price, I might also have an auction on the same item because I bought in bulk load. So if I bought 20 phones, I don't just do 20 phones on the buy it now and wait for them to sell. I have a few, one on the auction and have it 7 days or 30 days. And then when it sells, I do another one, while the other one's on the buy it now. That's one of the ways I have competition with myself, or should I say have multiple listings.
Selling items individually allows you to potentially maximize your profits, catering to different buyers' preferences and price points. What you want to do is think, how can I sell this particular item? Do you want to invest the time that goes into listing multiple descriptions? Do you just want to sell it outright, make your profit? What I have noticed and what I'll be doing over the next month is for specific items that I can sell individually, break them down, sell them individually. On the other hand, selling items as a whole unit can save you time and effort in listing your items. The slides that we won't cover in this week's finishing presentation, we're going to slide over to next week's presentation. As always, it is an honor to assist anybody, any new entrepreneur, anybody just trying to get into the eBay space on how to make your first $1,000. And tune in next week, same time, or watch the YouTube recordings. Tap in with me, David Allen, at We Buy iPhones on all social medias, and then D Mathis at Shoe Solution 6 on all social medias. And then check out his fan base for any tips, tricks on how to make your first 1,000. Once you tap in with us, we'll get you well on your path and in the lane to making your first 10,000. Anything you want to add, D?
Hey, just start, continue to follow this channel right here so you can get the information, so you can.
Went out.